The Virgin Islands Energy Office, taking advantage of funds from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, offered grants up to $50,000 for alternative energy and energy efficiency projects to nonprofit agencies. The first of 19 grants were awarded in September of 2010. Some of those projects are nearing completion. Here is how those organizations are using that stimulus money.
I'm Nikki Emmerich. I'm the president and founder of Pistarckle Theater, and I function as the producer overlooking day-to-day activities. Our mission is to provide entertainment and education to St. Thomas in terms of theater and training. As we're a nonprofit in good standing, federal good standing, we are reliant on grants such as the VI Energy grant and private donations and corporate donations and of course our earned income to run the theater. And I'm particularly grateful to have a chance to lower utility costs. Our bills range from $800 to over $1,500 a month, so that's quite a bite in our budget annually.
My name is Brian Emmerich. I'm an architect and an energy specialist. When the Department of Energy offered the ability for grants to nonprofit organizations, Pistarckle Theater jumped on the chance. Well, in the theater there were really three costly energy ideas or concepts. One was energy use of lights. Lighting is it was old style lighting, so putting in the new T8 technology electronic ballast was going to greatly reduce our energy bill. Reducing the amount of wattage that you have in your lights also reduces the amount of air conditioning that you're required to have. Air conditioning, we had older styled equipment. It wasn't very well laid out for the particular space that we use, and also the building wasn't very well insulated. So in looking and reviewing the grant, we saw that we had enough money to replace and redesign the air conditioning systems as necessary in order to make the building more efficient. And of course, by adding a great deal of insulation in spaces that had no insulation at all, and able to seal up holes and air leaks, etc., we look forward to reducing our energy consumption bill by, we think, 30%. That we've installed the most energy efficient air conditioning systems available. Thus, the less power, the less wattage, the less amount of fuel that has to be burned in order to do that, thus helping the green environment. Adding layers of insulation to a building is one of the best ways to save money in an air conditioning building. The more you insulate, the less heat you gain. In this particular building, in the areas that were not insulated before, it's at least an hour and a half to 2 hours later in the day before we actually have to turn air conditioning on before the building gets too hot. That's just physical proof of how much energy savings we're having. If you don't have to have the air conditioner running, just through the use of insulation, you're way ahead of the game, no matter how efficient the air conditioner is. The use of the energy efficient lights, to give you an example, the 4-tube fixtures that used to be in here were 167 watts. The new ones are actually only 64 watts. That's over a 65 watt or 63 watt savings. 103 watt savings. Now imagine putting your hand on a 100-watt light bulb and holding it. Now imagine that you've got 25 of those in a room. How much air conditioning are you wasting just trying to keep those bulbs cool, the air around it? So that adds a great deal of savings also to the reduction of air conditioning. So when you combine both lighting upgrades like this, you can see at least a 20% reduction in your air conditioning cost, even if you don't change your air conditioners. So here we're looking not only at that 20% savings, the fact that we've now insulated, about half of the building was not insulated before and it's now insulated. We expect to see another 20% to 30% reduction in the energy costs. And then the air sea units themselves, they're not only more energy efficient, so we could see a 20% possible reduction from their particular cost. We were actually had the opportunity to relay out the air conditioning to work the way the people in the building work. The biggest space of the theater has major 2 large air conditioning systems to handle it, but there are 3 smaller office areas that get used considerably different than the whole theater. For instance, that's where the staff comes to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're there until 5 o'clock in the day. There's no reason to air condition the whole theater while they're just occupying, let's say, 2 of the 3 offices. So those are individually small mini split units of a SEER 26, which is the latest and greatest, most energy efficient systems on the market today. But those units can also control, and they can be on at night when the theater is up and operating. Those offices are also still up and operating, and we can run those, and they have different temperature loads. As you know, when you fill up the theater with 125 or 150 bodies, there's a lot of heat being generated there. So that air conditioner has to be sized and working for that larger mass area. But still, the smaller offices, there might only be 1 or 2 people in there. So we don't have to have and pour a lot of air conditioning into it. We have to pour some, but we don't have to have that massive amount. So the balance just makes things much more energy efficient.
St. Croix Animal Welfare Center is very appreciative to the VI Energy Office for this opportunity. Now that the lights are in, we're much brighter. We feel like this is going to not only improve productivity for the staff, but also our marketability for customers who are coming in. They have a nice, bright environment to view the pets and play with the pets. And we were so excited when the first install went in. The staff members, while standing around, they were like, "Wow, it's so bright." And then they said, "And now we have to paint." Because we're a little dingy, but we've been waiting for the construction to be over, and so we're very, very excited about this opportunity.
Did you get some outdoor lights too?
We did. We got exterior lights. We also got solar panel lights. We are in a neighborhood that sometimes we've had issues with vandalism and theft, and so we're also grateful for the added security that these lights have provided to us.
Do you anticipate any cut in your WAPA bill?
We are keeping our fingers crossed for a big discount in our WAPA bill. Our WAPA bill is very basic. We do not run air conditioning here. We only have just your basic needs, electrical needs, office computers, and lighting. So we are looking forward to a sharp decrease in our bill.
My name is Monsignor Mike Kozak, although on St. Croix I'm known as Father Mike. And as Arthur Burton told you, when we look at our WAPA bills, they are really whoppers. And so I went to Arthur and I asked him if there's something he could do, and we heard about the nonprofit grants being offered. And on top of that, we're on the hill, and we have plenty of sun all day long. In fact, we also have plenty of wind, and I'm hoping the next time I hear about a grant, we'll be able to plug into the wind and even be able to save more money. And finally, the Holy Father, Pope Benedict, he's thinking green, and he's encouraging all of us to be more fruitful with the environment. And so my thought was, as we begin, the Catholic Church here in the Virgin Islands, with its schools and churches, will also become more interested and will be able to use the solar modules and other alternate forms of energy to decrease our bill, because first and foremost, we're called to be stewards of the resources that our people give to us. And to be a good steward, we need to invest the money properly. And that's what we're doing here, and I look forward to working with the Energy Office in the future, and I thank you very much for all you've done for us.
My name is Beach Higby from West Indies Solaire, and we got the grant from St. Anne's Church to install this 6.6 kilowatt solar electric system. So we have two SMA grid tie inverters here. These produce synchronous power from the solar panels on the roof. And that synchronous power, it's just like utility grade power. It synchronizes with the grid's 60 Hertz cycle, and the electrons that come from these two machines don't know the difference from the electrons that the grid sends over the wires. So would you like a brief explanation?
Yeah, brief, yes.
Brief, yeah, very brief.
Brief.
As long as we went to the trouble of climbing up here.
Well, here, let me stand in front of these solar panels. This is 18 185 watt PV modules, and they are 2 series circuits, 9 each in series, connected to one of the 3 kilowatt inverters downstairs. And the second row is 9 in series plus 9 in series connected to the other 3 kilowatt inverter. So this total array is 6.66 kilowatts.
If I said to him, we need to get this thing in place at this time, it was done. I have the ultimate respect for him as a man of action, and I'm going to introduce him now to speak more about the actual project and the execution of it.
We started this project back in 2010. Father Mike, the pastor of St. Anne's Church, he came to me with the problem that we have at our church, my church, the church that I attend, that we have issues with our utility bill. Our utility bill is rising. So we came up with an idea to come up with an alternative energy system. We found a grant through the EnergyOffice. We were able to apply for the grant, complete all the necessary paperwork, and our grant was successful, and we received $50,000 for our energy system. We use West Indies Solar as our contractor, and that's our VIgrants. He came up with the proposal. We had his proposal and a few other proposals, and we felt his proposal was the best for our system, for what we wanted. We were able to have the system built within a month and a half, and now we've pretty much completed our project. We're waiting on just some final additional details to be completed, but for right now we're actually still saving electricity. We're still saving energy on the system that's installed currently. So the system is up, it's running, it's working, and we're very thankful for the EnergyOffice for the grant, and that's it.
Nana Baby Children's Home is an emergency foster home that was established in 1989, and we're proud to be among those who have had the privilege of having the solar system installed, which is energy efficient.